Hey guys, it's Robert Gardner, and I'm here with my first liquor review tasting. Massage therapists, you're the reason I drink. We're gonna go into Luminar. I got a bottle of this at Total Wine and More. I don't know anything about Mezcal. I was dabbling in tequilas, which I have a great appreciation for. Don't know anything about Mezcal. This bottle was inexpensive at Total Wine and More. Did some quick research online, and apparently Total Wine and More, they're doing some of their own bottling. So that's where this bottle comes from. It's actually affiliated with Total Wine and More. I'm going to do tasting notes, and I'm not an expert, not a pro. Don't really know, if you want to call it that, what I'm doing. Same thing I've done with body work. I figure it out as I go. The notes on this bottle, you can see I've had some of it, are very, very different than what I've had with tequilas. I get grassier notes and less of the floral sort of citrus that I get with tequila, which is made with blue agave. This is made with other, plants, botanicals, things, other kinds of, I want to call them agave, but other succulents that are used instead of just blue agave, which legally, I think in Mexico, it's like that weird saying that all mezcals are tequila, but not all tequila is mezcal. It's this weird thing where they're legally, setting up situations where you can't call it tequila unless it comes from certain regions and it's only made with blue agave. Mezcal kind of gets a negative association as being overly, I think, smoky, overly, I don't know, it's like the moonshine of Mexico, essentially. The sense that I get reading about it was people looked at it like it was almost the lower class liquor, if that makes sense. And I'll continue to try different kinds to see what I like and what I feel about it. But let's go ahead and have me pour some here. I want to go ahead and do tasting notes and see what I can pull out of this. Pour myself a decent portion there. I really like the bottle. I really like the label. I felt like it was trying to stand on its own. It wasn't trying to, ooh, man. It wasn't trying to be something else. Let me see if that focuses for a second. You can see how clear that is. There you go. And let's see here. Again, from a nose standpoint, I don't get the citrusy aromas. There's a little bit more of like grassy aromatic that I feel. It's not as lime zest, orange zest, lemon zest. I get grassier, earthy notes from this specifically. I really like this, by the way. It's not my first choice when I go into the liquor cabinet, but it's an inordinately, I think, different mezcal. I've had very cheap mezcal that was inordinately smoky that almost kind of, oh, it was like rot gut. It just kind of like turned my stomach. Fragrant is grassy. Do the scents that I pick up transport me somewhere else? When I do coffee or beer, am I transported somewhere else? That's one of the things I really like. I don't know how to say it. I think it's a French word, terroir, Terroir, I think. The sense of like the land that it came from. When I have scotch, does it transport me to the space side, to Ile? Does it smell like and remind me of like a certain region? There's some alcohol there, but there's a lot of botanical work. There's a lot of those kind of grassy notes. And I haven't done enough research on this to know exactly what agave is used in the production of this mezcal specifically. I'm gonna have to do more research and find out as I go. It's like, you see how it says it's 100% agave, but I don't think it's necessarily blue agave. You'll notice when you get bottles of tequila, it's gonna say that typically in the US market. I'm not sure what the differences are from region to region. So for instance, labeling laws in Mexico and what they have to have. Just, it's wonderful. Like, I think It stands on its own. Because I've had this before, I don't like it as much as tequila, but it's super tasty. It's clean. There's a little smokiness, but I feel like it's balanced with those grassy kind of floral notes. The smokiness isn't like the other mezcal I had, that extremely inexpensive, cheap stuff from somebody's house that was so smoky it just kind of turned my stomach a little bit. You felt like it's almost like my complaint about IPAs. I feel like they're over hopped to cover up instead of making a better beer, a better ale. It's one of those things where I'll drink IPAs, but I don't typically find myself wanting to buy them. I'm wondering if there are different agave plants. In other words, since tequila is just blue agave, are they actually mixing different succulents into this bottle? Since it's not limited to just blue agave, that's one of the things that I just don't know. I'm really interested to do more research and find out. It's still this full, robust mouthfeel. There's a little bit of smokiness, but I feel like it's got a good balance with all of the other floral compounds. Again, I'm only comparing it to what I've had before. Don't really consider myself an expert, but it's definitely got different compounds compared to the tequilas I've had. It doesn't have those citrus notes and some of the lighter components, but it's got this grassy floral thing going on where it's making me think of like the cover, like the bottle. It's making me think of whatever ground that grew out of. It's making me think of Mexico. It's one of the things I find most interesting about different alcohol and learning about it is it's like, am I transported by the flavor and the sensations that come from it? But it's good. If you're a tequila fan, I would definitely recommend checking this out if you've not had mezcal before. I think this might be considered like a good starter bottle, would be a guess. It was also fairly expensive. I think it was like $26, $27. And again, like grassy notes, but it's not like mowed grass. It's not like that. It's not like after a rain. That terpsichore. There's a name for that, by the way. Terpsichore is that smell after it rains. It's just got these botanical notes that I don't pick up off of tequila. There's a smokiness, but I feel like it's an inexpensive bottle of mezcal that's not trying to be something else. It's not trying to be high class. It's not trying to be $100 bottle of tequila. It's not trying to show off. It just gives me a basic flavor profile for what mezcal is. Oh, all these crazy floral compounds like over my sinus passages when I breathe it in. And sort of the botanical notes are green. When I say they're grassy, I'm going to have to work on the language, just like I said, terpsichore, that scent after it rains, for what the smells are and how to isolate those. Cut hay, maybe a hay bale, but something that was fresh, fresh baled. Makes me want Mexican food and tacos, which is a plus for any Mexican alcohol. It's great. The protected appellation of origin. I sometimes tell people that one of my favorite laws is the German purity law, which, you know, restricted that they could only include 3 or 4 ingredients in beer in Germany. Really great bottle. If you have not checked out Mezcal before, I'd recommend this. Again, I think this would probably be a good starter bottle. If you're somebody who likes tequila, you've tried 4 or 5 different tequilas, you want something that's got a little bit different flavor profile, I think that this is probably something you should check out. I feel like the smokiness in it is, along with the botanical, those green sort of grassy notes, is a different breed altogether than the tequila that I've had. I appreciate this for what it is. I'll be interested to try more tequilas, and you guys check it out. We'll see what else comes up on the reviews. If you have any recommendations, things that you'd like to try or like to have me try, just let me know. I can grab bottles of stuff periodically to build my palate and see what I like and don't like. I've had some interesting responses so far, some shifts, especially with beer. I drink more beer, about what I like and what I don't like, and I look forward to working and growing with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I will go ahead and thank Total Wine & More for making a decent bottle of Mezcal. You guys have a great day.